Offered him that.
Did you?
He's been offered that
Right.
fight, Hergovic.
And that's it.
There's two,
Draw your own conclusion.
there's two ways to say you don't want to fight. You say, I don't want the fight,
I want more money.
or I want £1 trillion for it.
Frank, that is the big breaking news. Though Moses Itauma will fight in Manchester in December.
Yeah.
Headline?
Looking forward to that headline fight. It begs the question, what now for Daniel Dubois? Because Dubois lost last time out to, of course, there was post-fight, the split with Don Charles, his trainer. And Daniel Dubois came on this very show and spoke about that.
Just thinking, looking back, Don's been great for me. We won a world title together, but I'm just thinking about moving forward and how I can improve myself. And yeah, that was my decision. I'm willing to give everything I've got, everything I've got left now at this stage of my career, and become two-time heavyweight champion of the world.
Frank Warren's announcement has shaken the heavyweight scene. Daniel Dubois is sidelined, but Moses Itauma wastes no time stepping into the spotlight. This isn't luck, it feels like destiny. While Dubois stalls with injuries and question marks, Itauma brings raw hunger, youthful fire, and unstoppable momentum. That contrast is why so many believe the tide is shifting. The stage is set, and the belief is clear. This moment belongs to Itauma.
So Frank, you're with us live. What next for Daniel?
We did offer him the fight that we did actually try to make the fight between him and Joe Parker. And unfortunately, he's injured. He has an injury, so he won't fight. I doubt if he'll fight again this year, but he'll certainly fight again at the end of January, February.
And speaking of excitement, just look at the buzz around Daniel's name. Even Moses offers praise, but beneath it all, he knows the truth. This is the fight that makes sense. Facing Dubois isn't only about respect, it's about timing and opportunity. Daniel still carries enough name value to elevate Moses, yet his flaws make him the perfect opponent to expose. For Moses, it's not just another fight, it's the launch pad.
Daniel Dubois, you're in the heavyweight division. How exciting was Daniel Dubois tonight?
Very decisive. I was sitting next to Royston, and he was just saying he had the footwork of Ali, he had the combinations of Tyson, he had his jab.
He had a chin like George Foreman.
Oh my God. His jab looks like Larry Holmes. I swear down, Daniel, I'm going to take my hat off to you. You box very well.
And Frank Warren himself doubled down on what's next for his heavyweight stable. Sure, he spoke about plans and injuries, but let's be real, Moses is the story right now. While Dubois sits on the sidelines, Moses is already charging into the spotlight. This is the showdown fans actually want, not talk of delays or waiting games. The momentum's clear, the new blood is ready, and Dubois can't hide from it.
Sorry. I'd like to do, yeah. And we'll see, but he'll fight somebody in the top 10. And we've also got, coming back Daniel, which will be in probably January. Looking forward to getting him back in. He's injured at the moment. We've got a lot going on. We're going to be announcing a show in Germany, so everything's looking good.
And speaking of setbacks, Simon Jordan pressed Warren about Dubois' issues behind the scenes. That's the difference right there. Dubois distracted, late, surrounded by chaos. Moses, locked in, hungry, tunnel-visioned on greatness. For someone billed as the future, Dubois looks fragile. That's why so many in the boxing world are already circling Itauma as the man ready to flip the script.
Late to the event, potentially Daniel not fighting if he couldn't get his entourage and all this sort of stuff. You made it clear that you were going to have conversations with Daniel and perhaps his father as well. Have you been able to gain some clarity and order about events now going forward?
I think things going forward will be different.
Yeah,
I do. And they can have to be, because you can't.
In what way?
You just can't. Well, the most important thing, get to the venue.
Which brings us perfectly to Moses himself, making it clear where his eyes are set. AJ might be the dream, but Dubois is the defining fight right now. For Moses, beating Dubois isn't just a win, it's instant credibility, a statement that he's not just coming, he's already here. And for a teenager to be this fearless, that's frightening. Dubois can't match that kind of ambition.
Obviously Uncle Frank, if they can get me on the undercard, but I'll be excited. I'm looking forward to it. to be honest, I wanted to see AJ Hrgovic, but seeing AJ versus Dubois.
Frank Warren's words say it all. Dubois looks unsettled, swapping managers and trainers like a man still searching for direction. Moses, on the other hand, is young, focused, locked in on greatness. And when it comes to the biggest fights, it's stability and self-belief that win. That's where Moses already holds the edge.
There, I need my fighters to be settled, knowing what's going on and working together. But, you know, I'm not taking the punches. At the end of the day, that's got to be a choice that he makes. Don's a very good trainer, and it's unfortunate.
And has he got the right people around him in your view? Has he got a good team around him yet?
He's got he's got a new manager, advisor in Sam Jones on board with him. He's got a new trainer, which he hasn't announced yet. We will see. We will see. I mean, look, I'm not going to blow my trumpet. Besides being a promoter, I also have managed fights.
And when Moses talks about the opportunity, you can hear the fire in his voice. To him, Dubois isn't just another opponent, he's the ticket to wealth, fame, and legacy. That kind of ambition is dangerous. A fighter chasing history is always more lethal than one simply protecting reputation.
I would be silly not to take that, because I would end up in a better position taking that fight than if I didn't take that fight. If I win, I'm a world champion, I'll smash the records, I'm a millionaire, superstar, XYZ, yeah? And if I didn't take that fight, then I've...
The comparisons tell the story. McKean pushed Hrgovic to the brink, yet Moses dismantled him with ease. That's why experts already label Itauma a world-level threat in the making. For Dubois, that's a nightmare. He's not facing a prospect, he's facing a teenager tearing through benchmarks years ahead of schedule.
What could be next for Moses?
I mean, Dempsey McKean put up a credible performance against Filip Hrgovic, right? And so we base what Dempsey McKean is and what subsequently Moses did to Dempsey McKean based upon that performance against Hrgovic.
Yeah.
When you're looking at him now and we're pushing Frank to see who we could go in with and what sort of names do you want to hear him say?
Moses keeps it real. Sparring Dubois is tricky, but tricky doesn't mean unbeatable. It means he's already sized him up, tested him, and spotted the flaws. Dubois plods, heavy and predictable, while Moses is fast, fluid, and fearless. Once you've felt a man's best in the gym, the mystery is gone. Moses isn't scared, he's sharpening. With high-altitude training, elite sparring, and the hunger of youth, he's operating in a different gear. For Dubois, that's the nightmare. When sparring already shows your limits, the real fight becomes even more dangerous.
Daniel Dubois, how are you getting on with Daniel, by the way? Do you even speak much? Like, how does it go?
Yeah, you know what? I'm actually surprised. He's completely different to what he portrays, like what people think he actually is. Like, no, I was surprised. But yeah, no, training with Dubois it's been good. Obviously in that high altitude in Spain as well. Yeah, I can't really ask for a better prep camp.
I think it was in that George Groves podcast, you talked about maybe your most difficult spot has been Daniel Dubois, because he's like a plodder, he moves.
Yeah, no, it's literally styles makes fights, doesn't it? Yeah. And I think Dubois, his style is one of my trickiest.
The pundits aren't sugarcoating it. This is no easy night for Dubois. They call it what it is, a nightmare matchup. Moses Itauma isn't walking the safe path. He's charging straight at danger. Beating Dubois wouldn't just be another win, it would be validation, a passing of the torch as the young lion takes out the older, inconsistent contender. And look at the stakes. Dubois has everything to lose. One slip against a teenager and his reputation shatters. Moses, he risks nothing, only stands to gain. That's why this fight stuns the boxing world, because it's rare to see a teenager daring to chase history while his rival fights to protect pride.
Distance you go, there you go, there's your answers.
Be an amazing win if he did that. I think that's a very tough fight for any heavyweight out there.
Preparation decides everything. Under the big lights, focus and discipline separate winners from excuses. And that's where the contrast is glaring. Dubois has history, distractions, entourages, late arrivals, pressure breaking him in the Joyce and Usyk fights. Moses Itauma, he's all business. No circus, no baggage, just hunger and preparation. For him, this isn't pressure, it's opportunity. Youth, freedom, and energy make him twice as dangerous. If Dubois doesn't deliver his absolute best, Moses will expose him and do it without mercy.
Well, the most important thing, get to the venue on time. I mean, you want to be in there. You want your fighter to be relaxed. You want him to be, they're not worrying about other stuff, worrying about other people who are sitting watching fights. You want your man there. You want the guy who's having the fight of his life in the biggest fight ever, 4 heavyweight belts on the line. First time in this country ever happened. It should be going right.
And Moses, Itauma wastes no time. He's not waiting for whispers or speculation. He's demanding Dubois right now. That tells you everything about his mindset. Most prospects avoid that kind of risk, too much power, too much experience. But Moses flips the script. He sees Dubois at his most vulnerable, scarred by defeats, caught between promise and collapse. Timing is everything, and Moses knows this is the moment to strike. This is a generational clash. Dubois clinging to relevance. Moses storming through to prove he's already ahead. When a teenager calls out a heavyweight without hesitation, it's not arrogance, it's conviction. It's the belief of a future champion. That's why the boxing world is stunned. This isn't hype, it's destiny unfolding in real time.
Obviously, I know what AJ was doing or trying to do, but I don't even know. I've got to take my house to Daniel. What? Are you not entertained?
Confidence like this is rare. Even in boxing, Moses doesn't pause, doesn't hedge, doesn't negotiate. He just says yes and declares the fight will happen. That's not the language of a prospect. That's the voice of a man who already believes he's the future of the heavyweight division. Compare that with Dubois, so often hesitant, unsettled, carrying doubts when the spotlight burns brightest. Moses, he thrives on it. He craves it. This is the mentality that separates contenders from champions. He isn't waiting for opportunities. He's dragging them into existence through sheer conviction. That's why this fight feels inevitable. The teenager's belief is so strong, it's bending reality around him. The boxing world isn't just stunned by Warren's announcement, it's stunned by Itauma's fearlessness. He's not asking for permission, he's announcing his arrival. And history tells us, when fighters talk like this, they usually deliver inside the ropes.
Fight him next, then spend time with him.
April, May, it's Dubois, or April, May, it's Usyk. You say immediately yes?
This is the killer line. Moses isn't talking about scraping by on points or playing it safe. He's promising a knockout in heavyweight boxing. That's the ultimate statement. When a teenager calls his shot like that, it electrifies the fans because it shows pure belief in his power, speed, and timing. And here's the truth. Dubois has been stopped before. We've seen him fold when pressure mounts, when the shots keep coming. Moses knows it, and he's zeroing in on that fragility. This isn't reckless bravado. It's a calculated prediction from a fighter already known for destructive finishes. That's why the boxing world is stunned. Not just that the fight is happening, but because Moses has declared it won't go the distance. He doesn't want questions, he doesn't want debate, he wants a highlight reel finish that stamps his arrival on the world stage.
Build someone's profile and stuff, and you'll get into that point now of stardom. It's gonna come, so these days are necessary, Moses.
I mean, yeah, but then obviously there's people in boxing who sell tickets, and there are people in boxing that are known for knocking people out.
This sums it up perfectly. The biggest fights always come down to focus, discipline, and producing your very best when the lights are brightest. That's exactly why Dubois versus Itauma is so fascinating. Dubois has battled injuries, inconsistency, and distractions. He's locked in, tunnel vision, training like a man who knows destiny is calling. If Moses wins, he instantly becomes Britain's youngest true heavyweight star, a future unifier in the making. If Dubois pulls it off, he rescues his career from the brink and silences every critic. But here's the real question. Who's mentally stronger? Who truly wants it more? Every sign points to Moses. The youth, the hunger, the fearlessness. This isn't just a fight, it's a generational clash. The boxing world is already stunned, but the real shock will come when the bell rings. So I'll ask you, whose side are you on? Dubois' last stand or Moses' rise? Drop your predictions in the comments below.